Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to share with you why fear-based marketing sucks. And this is especially for you if right now you're struggling in business, especially if you're a coach or a healer, if you're sharing your medicine in some way, shape, or form, and you're struggling. There's not much going on, or you're struggling to start. There's just not much showing up on the exterior. And perhaps you're magnetizing people that you don't really actually want to work with. This is deep. It's powerful. And I would summarize it in one sentence and then we'll chunk down on it. The core of it is, if you're functioning from fear in any way, and I don't mean just like putting out fear-based motivational messages like, buy now, there's only 5 left. I mean, what's happening in you energetically. If you're operating from that place, you will always only attract, if you attract anyone at all, people who are so disconnected from their own hearts and their own ability to choose and make a choice based on their feeling. They're so disconnected from that you will only attract those people who need to actually be coaxed, coerced, manipulated. You're starting at that energetic foundation. And those people usually are in victim consciousness, or they want to be saved. And they have a million projections. It's just a completely different frequency. And this is why so many people I see that are in this space or trying to get into this space of assisting people in health and healing, there's just this like deep disconnect between who they know they are inside, and because of the marketing dogma and what so much of everybody else is saying, they just buy into that, how they need to present themselves, and they don't really actually show up as their real selves. And this is always what happens, and it just makes people miserable, and it makes them think like, maybe I'm wrong, there's something wrong with me, and this is 100% not the case. If you actually step into a higher alignment with yourself and your energetic field, and you share authentically from your heart who you really are without any agenda, just from the joy of like, oh, this is bubbling over with me, this is who I really am, I know who I really am, and I know how to say it, and you go from there, you attract people at a completely different level. There are people who are just dying to meet you right now, who will be your friends, who will pay you money, lots of money, who will get immense value just from talking with you or being with you or buying your products, that are in a completely different energetic field. And if you're using fear-based marketing, you will never ever attract those people. They won't even be on your radar. You will not be on their radar. They're completely, you will not appear on their radar. You won't even be a blip, because what's really at play is not marketing. It's not what you know, what you say. Everything is pure energy. And if you actually upgrade to that different energetic, which I know you already know that you are, and you speak and you communicate from that place, that whole other world actually opens up for you. And it's way different. So that's big. I see what's happening here in this whole topic is there's this thing called the small self, right? And it operates from lack, separation, fear, scarcity, right? We all have that. And what's really happening is around your whole being is this whole energetic field, right? Everything is just energy. We're living in an energetic universe. My energy right now, yeah, I'm saying some words, but if it's lighting you up, it's not the words. It's the energy from my heart that's just going straight into this camera and over to you. We're communicating through the quantum field. If it's speeding you up, lightening you up, then the electrons in your body are speeding up. There's a mirror neuron effect happening between you and I, and you recognize, oh, there's some truth there. There's some value. I want to pay attention to that. I want to maybe hang out with this person, right? So we have this energetic field around us. And to the degree of your own self-development, it's going to have these pockets of darkness in it, the scarcity, the lack, the like, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, right? We all have that. We're doing our work on that. The more you transmute that, the more work you do on that, the more you feel through that, the more you presence that, the more you move into this other phase, right? Where your consciousness speeds up. You go into a higher octave. This is, sorry, I'm holding this wrong. This is the true self, the big self with a capital T, capital S, the place of limitlessness, freedom, the infinite self, where you're just well, you're just source, you're just whole, you're just good already. And when you're operating from that place, it's a completely different world. Now, the small self, it plays many tricks. It wants to be that. And the way it wants to be that is it wants to be that through results. It wants to be that through obtaining something, right? It will catch all of us. It even catches me sometimes as well, right? Where you're like, oh, I'm not enough. Like I need, oh, there's not enough money. I better go out there and make something happen, right? There's a little contraction. And as soon as you operate from there, that's also fear. See, I'm not just talking about ditching fear-based marketing externally. We're talking about where it's actually originating from. Because when we're talking about fear-based marketing, it's like, okay, buy now, there's only 5 left. Or, you really got to do these things. If you don't, then you're going to have all this pain, and that's why you should act now. Or, go through my really complicated webinar that uses all the psychological hacks so that you are then totally convinced that you have to work with me. Obviously, that's fear-based stuff, right? But on a deeper level, it's like, where does it actually come from? It comes from here, from your own unseen darkness and your own parts of you that are still like, I'm not enough. People won't see me for who I really am, so therefore I gotta go do this thing. Hope you get, hope you then get me. That's what it really is. It's inside of you. It's inside of you. And what matters most is not really what you do, but where you're operating from. What matters most is not what you do, but your energy, where you're actually taking the action from. If there's any amount of like grabbiness, like I hope they get it, people will sense that. People will feel that. And there will always be this like discord. This is why a lot of the people I coach and I work with, one of the things they complain about, it's like, man, I just feel like I'm this amazing warrior of light and peace, but there's just like this disconnect with how I'm showing up. Something just feels like icky and out of alignment, and that's it. And that's part of the whole marketing dogma conditioning, right? What matters most is not what you do, but where you're actually operating from. And here's what this is really ultimately about. It's recognizing that the results don't matter. It took me a whole lifetime to learn this. And I'll tell you how I learned this, okay? In my life, I've gone through tremendous experiences. I've lived like 5 lives in one. And I've made and lost millions of dollars on the internet as a young kid in my 20s, always promoting like really cool conscious products. I was in this space. I even ended up like on Richard Branson's private island once. Here's a really bad picture of me on Richard Branson's island. That's me. That's Richard Branson and some really, really cool entrepreneurs. I was even hanging out with like Vishen Lakhiani as he was founding Mind Valley, I think. And I was in this like circle of friends who were doing incredible things, and I was doing incredible things, but I was really insecure. But at that place, I was actually doing what I'm talking about here right now in an unconscious, competent state. I was just moving completely fearlessly, just like, oh yeah, that's a cool idea. Let's just blow some money at that. Oh, look at that, $1 million. Haha, that's freaking awesome. What about that? And it was just like moving from my heart completely. And people around me were kind of noticing, like, who is this young kid, like, doing crazy stuff? Like, let's hang out with him. So I got invited to this entrepreneur's house once, and he was talking about his business and all the structures that they were doing in place. And then I was, like, listening. I was like, cool, man. And I was, like, looking out the window, out of the blinds, drinking my tea. And I was like, that's so cool, but I structure my business kind of differently. And he looked at me like, what do you mean? How do you structure your business? I'm like, well, the way I see it, it's all kind of just like a magic pirate ship. And it's held together by duct tape and magic. And I just do whatever I love. And he looked at me like I was kind of like an idiot. And I felt it. And I was like, man, maybe I am an idiot. And you know what happened to me? I actually forgot all this stuff. Because I started to buy into the lies. I started to buy into the delusions of that small self. And part of those delusions, these kind of like energetic blockages and these spirals, are interpretations of how reality actually works. And here's the thing. Reality will always work in the way that you think it works. The belief you project on a system is usually how the system will mirror back to you its reflection of how it operates. So a quick little interlude here as I'm editing this video. What I mean here is that if you believe from the place of this limited self that you need to manipulate and use fear to get people to work with you, that people will not automatically recognize who you are, and that you need to use effort and hustle and grind to make things work, that is exactly how reality will behave and respond back to you to reaffirm that yes, you're right, this is exactly what you're buying into,
into in your energetic field, this is exactly how things work. But if you actually make the shift and you honor that I receive all things in grace and ease, and I honor that all of those people who I am inspired to serve are already looking for me, and that we can meet in a fluid, authentic, joyful, and juicy way, that is exactly how it will be.
And everything kind of fell away, and my life became stressful, and my way of being, I just kind of lost it over years, because I was surrounded by all these really successful entrepreneurs, and I was like, oh, they have structure, they do all these things, maybe I gotta like work and hustle and grind. And I built this like massive monster company with tons of people working for me, and my whole life fell apart. And I've been repairing it and relearning these principles to come to a place in my life now where I'm like, oh, it is all duct tape and magic. And let me tell you what I mean by that, okay? This true self, which we're all awakening to, all right? This true self right now that's beating your heart, that's blinking your eyes, pumping your blood, pumping your heart, operating all the miracles that you're not even consciously thinking of. The creator, the divine God, whatever you want to call it, right? It's creating everything, and you have a direct connection with that. Nothing you create or do, or the healing that you're here to transmit, comes from you. I talked about this in a recent video, how to build divine conviction. It's all coming through you for other people, through the divine. So thy will be done, all right, and surrender to that, and you can trust that. The ultimate key of this other consciousness is you let go, and you let God be your marketer, and you trust that as you speak your truth, those who are here to be served by you, through you, they're already looking for you, and they will recognize you the moment that they see you, they hear your voice, they see your eyes, they feel your joy, they feel your energy. They will recognize you like that, and they will want to work with you. That's why fear-based marketing sucks, because it's just not operating from that place. It's a completely different gradient of consciousness. And when you operate from this place, you go all in on you, the true you first, on your happiness, your wellness, your joy, your family, what actually lights you up, what actually helps you maintain and connect to this more expanded energetic state, because that is your only value. What you embody is the only value. And when you go there first, and you forgo the left brain structure and the left brain hustle, when you let everything dissolve, even though it's scary, it's a process. The real structure, the real stuff that you need to do will just appear. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not this like flow boy state where I'm just like, oh, what do I do? It's all magic and duct tape. No, that's just the word for saying, let thy will be done. God knows better. All right, it will be done through you. I'm actually one of the most regimented structured people out there. I have a discipline in my life. I have structure. I have a business. I have models, but it all emerged from deep within me. Spontaneously, I allowed myself to actually receive it, and it comes from there. All right. And here's the thing. I think I already said this already, maybe in this video. I don't know if I did, but energetically, in the energetic world, okay, you can't hide anything. There's no such thing as becoming more authentic. You are already authentic right now, right? On an energetic level beyond the conscious mind, people can see you. They know what you're doing subconsciously. You can't hide from them, all right? If I'm miserable inside and I just come up here and go like, I'm happy, get my, work with me, buy my products. It's just going to show up. Like if I'm secretly a cocaine addict, but I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm happy, look at me, I'm in full of integrity. You're going to feel it. Something will just be off. You can't hide who you truly are. The only thing that you can do is stop trying to be something that you're not. And that's the only thing that will amplify that field, because it's already trying to come through you. It's already just trying to bubble over through you. If you just let go of the effort, let go of trying, you're going to feel way less fake. You're going to feel way more real, and the real answers are going to start to come through you, for you. Because you can never, ever really know the answers. You can only become a system that is capable of receiving those answers and those insights and those downloads and the real structure and the marketing plan and what to say and how to be. Your body's designed for that. Our divine decree is to be happy, to be in alignment with our true purpose. And when you're not, everything else falls to shit. It falls apart. And when you are in alignment, the pirate ship, all right, the magic pirate ship, it appears, and that is your ship, how you actually express yourself, how your structure appears in life. And everything comes to support you, all the structure, all the money, all the insights, all the teachers, the duct tape that glues it together, and the divine wind will come and push it forward. We're not alone in this. We're all connected by a freaking intricately connected, intelligent, divine love force. And you can come into alignment with that with your business. There's more to this conversation, way more. If you found this helpful, please subscribe. And if you want guidance and help with this, coming into your true alignment, to come to do what you've actually come here to do on this planet, to do that with love, joy, compassion, to know what your real value is and how to actually say it, to come into that alignment and to unblock yourself energetically to allow that to happen. That's what I specialize in, and you can find a video down below that will tell you more about that if you want to work on this in your life. You're invited. Till next time, thanks for watching. See you soon.